Okay, I'm watching some Japanese league today, and it is the JTEKT Stings versus the Toray Arrows of Shizuoka. And JTEKT has Defalco and Lucarelli, as well as Stephen Boyer on the right side, which last year they had Miura, and it doesn't look like they have Miura anymore. And then, who's running the offense? Higashi. I don't think he's the man. I don't know. But pretty dang good team here with DeFalco, and he had a very good game. I checked the stats. He had a good game. Actually, I kind of want to look at what Stephen Boyer did. 25, 55, 8 errors. It's not bad. It's a pretty good game. Back to this. And for this team, we have Kirill, which I'm pretty sure he's a big Brazilian dude. Taylor Averill is on this team as well, but it looks like he played the whole time. Nice. And then let's see who else. Anybody else that I would know? Yamada. He must be a Japanese outside. I don't know. All right. Well, let's watch some ball. Let's watch some Japanese league. And I don't know. I like watching the Japanese league. I don't think it's my favorite league to watch. But I like watching them because they are definitely a super technical, super strategic league, but they're just, I don't know, on average, they're just shorter than other leagues. Like in the Italian league, most of the dudes are like 6'8", like they're huge. But it's interesting. And Steve Boyer, he's the French right side. He's a freak of nature with his athleticism. Super explosive, super physical. And this right here is Cardenas. Not sure where he's from, but it's a pretty good swing right there. Bang. Rips it back. And, obviously this is a huge swing by Cardenas. This is a really nice swing. But just something I notice is TJ DeFalco just he's backing up a little bit. Maybe he just started backing up a little bit because of that. But on defense, you always want to try and get yourself in a spot and, sit a little bit better and either be on your toes or be neutral and ready to move. Because if you're on your heels, then you're just not going to be as quick to move as you could be. I think this guy's Brazilian. Kirill. I don't know. Huge right guy. He's probably almost 7 foot, if not 7 foot. Decent touch though. But yeah, big serve, inbounds. Okay. Big serve into the net. All right, floater. Missing serves like crazy right here. Cardenas hits DeFalco here. Let's see this one more time. And, if you have that thoracic mobility to do this and not need to open up your hip, I think that's important. Just having that mobility and understanding that to make a good enough angle to get that ball back up there, you're going to need to rotate and be able to move your torso like that. So, I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing with men's volleyball because you see these skinny dudes be super effective in the men's game. Because I think it's just I don't know. I don't think that it's fully necessary. I think a bigger dude, like a basketball player who is pretty jacked, pretty physical, can still be mobile and, be pretty flexible. But it does take maintenance, I think flexibility and being able to just, I don't know, make different angles with your body, move your body around, and put it in some weird contorted ways. I do think it's important. I think even just in a sense of a middle blocker has to kind of lean this way and go there so that he can swing here just to make it available, or let's see here, no. Or a pass like this, if he's able to lean over, make a better angle, or just do whatever, it might just help. Oof. And this is a great reuse here, and you see how quickly he throws it into their hands there, just quick into their hands. Doesn't give them time to slap at it. It's a good reuse, but it was a bad cover. And they're going back and letting this guy just go OT on Defalco in the middle there. Really nice swing. And I mean, this guy's not jumping super high, but he's obviously just a huge human being, so it works out. His float just drops short. Really nice. And look at how well he contacts this ball. Wow, that thing is like, he obviously tossed it with spin, but then off contact, look at how it just stays. Like, it is not rotating at all. Like, oh my goodness. Holy crap, that is not rotating. And when it's not rotating like that, it just like, it gets unpredictable. That's the whole float. Like, that's why it gets called a float, is because it floats in directions that you're not expecting. It's the Magnus effect. I think there's a different specific word for that when there's like a knuckleball, Same thing here. You can even see it floating a little bit there. And it just goes right over the tape. And Stephen Boyer just ripping into the seam. Bang. Excuse me. Nice serve by Defalco. And I like this idea here, just to kind of force Cardenas to pass. And obviously these guys are covering a lot more space. This libero here is pretty much taking a full half of the court here. And he's pinching his seam a little bit. But then Defalco just says, okay, fine, I'm just going to chop it in here at like 90%, put it on Cardenas, make him pass. And it forces him to make a pass like this. Even if he's not a bad passer, it just forces him to go to the ground, and then his approach isn't as good. At least, like, if he was in system, it wouldn't have been as good. And then out of system gets him out. It either gets him out of system, or it makes his approach a little bit weird or weaker. And obviously this one was out of system. They got a triple block off of it. And now he chops it there. And I love this idea, because last time he went here, you see how much these guys are cheating over. You see how much space this guy's leaving on the sideline. He chops it over the sideline. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful serving by TJ Defalco here. And he didn't need to hit it at 3,000 miles an hour to be effective with it. He's just being smart with how he places it. Not every team is going to pinch a certain passer or make certain adjustments, but if they do, you should be noticing that, and you should be planning what you're doing off of that, Really nice. Interesting. Bang. Right, OT. That's honestly a great swing. Good for him, being able to grab that ball. And this right here is why you go left seams on a righty spin, because look at how it just cuts over like that, and then it's going that way as he's trying to get around that ball, and it's just a little risk to skip off like that, But also you see here on his pass, he connects a little bit early, and then he's like swinging his arms out, and that also just adds momentum to the ball and like makes it hard for him to make the correct angle there. Yeah, and like honestly, in the Japanese league, it's interesting with their blocking schemes, because I do feel like I feel like in the Japanese league, they might make the most adjustments in blocking, like having a dude help or having a dude leave. Like you see here, this guy jumps with the setter. He has him. Is he back row though? He's front row. Okay. But like, and I think that's probably because in the Japanese league, they have a lot of mismatches that get pulled up because they are paying these dudes hundreds of thousands of dollars to come in and be a huge human and get a ton of kills. So like, that Stephen Boyer got 55 sets in this game. It's a lot of sets, okay? And so who's going to get set most, so you're able to say, okay, this guy's going to get set a ton. Let's do this. Let's make an adjustment to it, Let's see. I kind of want to see this route. And, like, he's just very far from him here. I would push him over, allow that ball to be on his right side, because then, since it's on his left, he's not able to swing at it, And so it's very important. You see, once he touches this ball, once he puts this ball up, he just stands up and goes. But if that ball's in the air and you see where that setter is going to be setting from, get yourself to the correct lane. Like, if I could just create a little green zone right here where I want his lane to be, but he's just a little far, and then he isn't able to take a real swing there. And let's see what happens. Let's see what comes of this. That slight misconnection, I would say. Ooh, I hope he didn't twist his ankle. That would stink. I think he's good. I think he's okay. Oof. That's always scary. It's pretty much the only, thing that we have to worry about in volleyball, though, for injuries, really. Except for shoulders, I guess. But, I mean, same thing. It just seems like these guys are going to try to pick him apart and just feed him every single ball, even if it's not going to be a huge serve every time. You're just giving him the ball and just forcing him to pass a few balls out of his range or pass some balls at the edge of his range, whatever. Wow. It's a good block move. It's a really good block move. And look how he goes vertical, presses immediately. And again, back on that blocking scheme conversation with this Japanese league here, they do make really clean blocking moves because they have to, dude. If this guy, who I would be surprised if he's even 6 foot, if this outside here wants to block this dude, this Killers, what is his name again? I forget. This huge human, this 7-footer, then he's gonna have to make a really good block move. Good move by Taylor Averill, though. I like that one. But yeah, so I don't know, if you're someone who has been told by the coach, oh, I don't think you're making good block moves, whatever, then watch some Japanese league. Watch some undersized outsides who are able to block huge dudes. For example, Ethan Champlin, I think Ethan Champlin could be a better blocker, but TJ Defalco or Ishikawa or Semeniuk, these smaller outsides who Plotnitsky are able to block these huge dudes even though they're not getting their armpits over the net, And you see here on this pipe, you see this shuffle. It's such a small little shuffle, but you see this shuffle where he passes, shuffles over, and takes that approach. And when he's jumping, he's in that correct lane. And he's able to take a real nice rip. Oh, love seeing Defalco on a nice bick. That's probably his greatest strength, is hitting a bick. Over the top, inside, bang. Love it. Being able to turn like that on an inside red like that is really nice. What is this big right side name again? It's Kyrillis or something like that. What is it again? Let's see. Bang. Kirill. I'm definitely not pronouncing that right. But let's continue. Taylor Averill probably could have taken care of that ball a little bit better there. And you're going to see a reuse, recycle. And with a league like this, where pretty much every Japanese team buys the people that are going to get them kills. They're not buying every person, they're buying specifically the people that are going to get them kills. Those people that are going to get them kills need to kind of work on their recycling ability, because you're going to get fed a lot of balls and you're going to be almost a garbage man in a sense where it's a garbage play, super out of system, I'm going to get that ball. Or you're going to get a ton of balls, maybe not all of them perfect, maybe some of them in very bad situations like this, but then you just need to be able to adjust. You need to be able to make a good decision, not make an error. I think TJ Defalco might have went in the net there. No, I guess he might be good. But stuff like this where, okay, ball's tight, I'm not in the best situation, I'm going to press and beat Kirill with adjust. Cardenas getting a little angry here. I'm surprised they're serving that outside. I would feed Cardenas every single ball, even if it's easy, until they make a big adjustment. Huge block by Stephen Boyer. Jeez. Risky block, but dang, did it pay off. Holy crap. That's insane. And I mean, I don't know what Cardenas is mad about. He got blocked there. I don't know what he's mad about. I don't know if he expected to get covered there or what, but dang, did he get roofed, dude. Oh. And you see how much Stephen Boyer is able to reach over? Like, look at that right there. Look at how much he's just reaching and just trying to extend and reach over the net as much as possible there. A huge blocker like that, that's going to be your greatest weapon, is just getting close to the ball and making it difficult to swing around you. Yeah, really nice, really nice. Let's see, auto system here going to Kirill. I like that turn, that little turn here. He tracks the ball, but then as he approaches, he leaves that ball in front of him. So he approaches, and then as he's jumping, he brings this left foot around more, opens up his shoulders, and then can take a real swing, you know? And you can even feel that if you just have, I was doing this the other day, if you just have someone pass for you, have someone just like pass a few roll shots, and then as they're passing that ball, keep that ball in front of you, and then just turn as it's passing you, and then take a swing. Like, that's all it takes. That's all it takes to feel that exact thing that I'm talking about. Bang. Let's see that move. Hey, count it. He doesn't need to be pressed super high over the net. He doesn't need to be jumping like crazy. He just needs to seal this so that they can make a good read. And if he tries to bounce a ball and make it really difficult, then bang, you can take that block, you know? Doesn't need to be anything crazy. You don't need to be Wilfredo Leon to get good blocks. Same thing here. Defalco's not super high over the net. He's just pressing really well. That's all it is. Your hands are in the right spot. That's all it needs to be. That's 3 blocks in a row here. And this dude's tiny. This is a tiny setter, bro. This is a tiny setter, but he goes vertical, presses really well. He's able to get a good block there. 3-0. Good serve down the line now. Nice ace, too. And this is what I'm talking about, is go at this guy until they make a big adjustment and leave this much, and then you go at that, you know? And then you can keep going after him and be like, nah, I'm going to keep picking on him. Because if you make an adjustment and try and help him out, if you try and make an adjustment and help him out, I am going to pick you apart too. Yeah, so we start this second set here 5-0 with JTEKT getting off to a lead. Just cooking right off the bat, I guess. Yeah, and like perfect pass, you should run your middles, especially with a team that has their main guys on the pin. You definitely should feed the middle whenever you get the chance, you know, because it's just going to take some pressure away from them, like in these situations where you need a kill or something. I think that went off the hands. Wow. Floater. And they're switching everyone around, doing this and that, whatever. Okay, he's on the outside. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, and I don't know, this guy's getting super, super shallow here. I'm not a fan of that. I think he can take that and just allow him to get back. I don't know. In the 6th spot, don't crowd the plate, man. Don't get super crazy tight. Like, just stay deep. If you don't trust the block, then read in between and figure it out. But if they're constantly bouncing it, fine, whatever. But there's very few teams that can consistently just bounce in front of you, bounce in front of you, bounce in front of you. You know? Like, most teams are going to get kills like, let's see if there's going to be a good example here. Most teams are going to get kills like this. Let's see. Nope. But most swings are going to be like this right here, where it has to be over the block and deep. So no point, dude. No point of getting in there like crazy, you know. Obviously, super in system, or like when there's a no block, do whatever the heck you want. But I'm just saying, just in a broad scheme, it's good hand. Watch that right hand right here. He shows cross and then just reaches extra with that right hand and just grabs it. Really nice block. Floater. Dang, man, outside of his body there. I like float servers that can like be a little deceptive with what they're doing. I think honestly I really love that. But it takes practice, and you need to make sure that you can keep the ball in while you're doing that. But like a ball like this where, okay, there's no chance you're digging that unless you're sitting right here, and if you're sitting right here, you're selling everything else out. So a ball like this, you're saying, hey, blocker, I need you to take care of that for me, you know? Yeah, blocker kind of sold that one, but hey, stuff happens. Ooh, there we go. Taylor Averill getting a good block here now. And he's pressing early, dude. I love that. Pressing early, being able to grab that. Nice. I didn't look at Taylor Averill's attacks and whatever. I didn't see how many blocks he gets. But I think Taylor Averill is a very good middle, especially with like how he moves across the net. But dude, I don't understand the liberos that say, no, I need to take every single free ball, because then it turns into something like this where the middle is moving away from it, he's diving like this, and the ball's not even that good. And it's a 7-iron system ball, and you got a double block there. Ooh, hello. Yeah, good take by Taylor Averill there. Really nice. Really nice right arm, extra press there. All right, we got a perfect pass going back to Stephen Boyer. Bang. Ooh, hello. Yeah, and you see now that he doesn't press his right arm, he gets beat on that same exact ball. That's pretty much the same exact spot that he swung. One worked, one didn't. One got him a block, one didn't, because of that right arm, you know. Out of bounds, it looks like. Could not tell. It's honestly, this camera's not the most clear either, but it's not too bad. Yeah. But I mean, I love the decision here. I love the choice. He just hit the net. That's all that happens. Yeah, and just for those of you that don't know, this is not the first time that Defalco and Boyer are playing together. They used to play together on Aseka Resovia, I believe, and they were a pretty good duo there too. So it's a fun duo. Very explosive, very offensive duo. So that's gonna be it's cool to watch. I'm intrigued that they got them together again. That's cool. And I think Stephen Boyer is a great person to have in the Japanese league. Like, it's cool. The Japanese league just has such a great fandom, you know, like such a great culture around it. Like they love ball, dude. And they're huge supporters, huge fans. They go crazy. Like the crowd that they have, it's a huge crowd. And yeah, they're treated like celebrities over there, which, you know, helps the league just continue to grow and grow and grow. But you see, again, back to that pipe stuff. You see that shuffle. Watch TJ Defalco shuffle, get himself on the right lane, and then he starts to go forward. Bang. And then he gets to there. So then he's not drifting a ton. You know, like you want to make sure that you're approaching in a way where you have range, and, you know, where your shoulders and where your hips are facing is a huge part of that. But also, if you're drifting a certain way, it gives you less time to have that ball in the window for you. And also, it just takes away some range. because you're having so much momentum a certain way, and if you need to move the ball away from the momentum, it's just a little bit harder, you know. Yeah, and especially with the Bic, let me see if there's gonna be another one. With the Bic, you you're gonna pick it off this way at some point. I'll try and show you next time. I'll just try and think of it next time. Let's see. We'll just keep rolling though. We'll keep rolling. Kirill, big dog. Yeah, and I think Defalco makes good moves. I mean, he gets up there. He gets up there a lot though. I don't know. What do you think? Who's a good, very small blocker? I don't know. I don't know. I think Semeniuk is one of the most fundamental and clean blockers. TJ Defalco, I think, is able to max out his blocking technique very well. Like his blocks, Oof, wow. And Taylor Averill gets burnt here by the libero. And it's really cool to see a libero able to go like this and act like he's going to go behind and then flip it out there and get a solo block semi-in system for him. Like, that's really cool. That's really cool. That's really fun. And it just goes to show you how versatile the people in the Japanese league are. And I truly think that the way that they teach their fundamentals, the way that they teach the game is one of the best ways to teach the game, because you see every person on the Japanese national team can play multiple positions and figure out and problem solve during the game, during the point. I don't know, I feel like on other national teams there still is a true middle where all he can do is play middle, and if you ask him to pass, oh my gosh, he's done for, or if you ask him to take a free ball, he's done for. And if middle can't take a free ball, I don't want to trust the dude out there. And TJ Defalco doesn't press his left hand here, lets it go inside. Yesterday in my game, I hit a ball out, and I turned and almost screamed the F word, but then I saw that there were a bunch of kids there, so I turned that fa into a fart. I said farts, because that was, I didn't want to swear, but I think they knew what I wanted to say, so, no, I suck. Nice tip, though. Actually, I didn't need to talk about that. But yeah, that's what happened. Spin to float, drops it short, really nice. And I like that ball, the FIVB ball that they use. I feel like it's very easy to tell the ball where you want it to go, I hope that makes sense. I want to see this real quick. Yeah, good move. Look at how close these guys are from where they're jumping from. They're very, very close. And I'm surprised that Stephen Boyer didn't go up, but that's a great press by him, just to press well and grab that ball. Really nice. We got 23-21, another spin to float from TJ Defalco here. And we don't have that Cardenas guy in here, We still don't have him in here. I think he just got subbed out. Well, not just got subbed out, but he did get subbed out. It just doesn't seem like he was really producing enough for what the liability was with passing. Off the hands, no. Off the nothing. All right, 24-24. This could be a very important point, but there's a slight misconnection, or Stephen Boyer messed up. Ball's still up. Wow, what a dig. Yeah, but this is a great example of just making sure you're stable and sitting in on the point of contact, and he's able to just bend down and contort his body. He must be very flexible. I would assume that TJ Defalco is a very flexible person. And I don't know. I assume that he stretches pretty consistently, but I don't know. Whatever he's doing, I think I got to start doing more of. I think I got enough muscles. I can be more mobile. Wow, it's huge. Another huge point for these guys. Sneaking it underneath like that and getting that. And late games or late game points like that, those could be the game. Like you sneak a few of those by, you keep it close for the whole game, and then sneak a few of those points in there late game like that. You're winning that game. You're beating a team that arguably is just straight up better. Like I think that JTEKT just has a better roster here, but if they're not clean after it's like 2020, or like if these guys can just hang in there, keep it a side out game until it's 20s, and then just sneak a few breakaway points, just sneak a few scrappy points away. Okay, nice, good swing. Off the hands there. All right, we got big old Kirill. Nice floater. Bang. Little jousty. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's just an impressive joust, in my opinion, with that setter, because he's obviously a very small setter, but he just gets his hands on that ball really, really well. Good ability to turn and run there. Just turns and sprints. Like there's no shuffle to it. There's no anything. He just turns and sprints to wherever he needs to, and like that's a skill that you need to develop if you're gonna play in the 6th spot. Is just the ability to recognize, okay, that ball's back there. I need to turn my body so that I can go as fast as possible. I don't know. I get caught being slow on that turn sometimes. I'm not the best 6th spot defender. Let's see. Steven Boyer, a little roll shot to the libero, a little short shot, bang. And this Kirill guy's bringing it low, a little bit too much for my liking. I feel like he could go OT, or should at least be going OT a lot more. But hey, he's in the Japanese league and probably getting paid more than I will ever make in my entire life. So I respect him very highly. Ooh, good dodge by Steven Boyer there. Wow. Short, bang. Perfect ball. Oh, never mind. Maybe it got tooled. I cannot tell. This is somewhere. Yeah, it got tooled. Wow. Good run, though. Yeah. And Defalco just gets tooled there. I don't know. The Bic is, like, blocking against the Bic is such a difficult thing. Because, I mean, first of all, you need to press. You guys know that I have said this every single time. Like, you got to press. But, I don't know. I mean, like, where? Like, where should you, like, do you jump straight up, or do you, wow, what a dig. Just touching it. That's crazy. Ooh. Yeah, they're able going for a golden eagle. Puts it too tight. But hey, they're still getting a free ball back. But anyways, that point there where TJ Defalco got tooled on that Bic, it's because he dove in to try and seal that block a little bit. Now I think that's the best option, because then it forces them to like hit really sharp angles, which is slightly more difficult on the Bic. But yeah, but obviously it just ups the chance of possibly getting tooled on the elbow or just the side of the arm or whatever, Yeah, and just having a route like this, where he goes inside like this on a free ball, like on an easy free ball like this. Why not, dude? Why not? It puts a little extra pressure, puts a little nuance in the game. And then you can either put this if you don't think he's going to jump with him, or you can set it to here if you think he's going to be worried about this, And if he is worried about it, it's going to be a one-on-one like it was. And I'm surprised that they didn't set Defalco there. But, hey, I mean, especially with Kirill as that blocker, because obviously he's a huge, huge human. But still, I mean, Steven Boyer, touches, 12 something probably. I don't know, probably 12 and a half feet, whatever. Oh, wow. Just trusting that this guy's going to get up there is impressive, but it might have just been a slight misconnection. That dude was just a little bit late. Could have been a sweet play though. Ball's up. Ooh. Let's see. Spinner chips off the platform a little bit there, but not a bad pass. And I mean, at this level of the game, if someone's ripping a serve, a pass like this is perfectly fine because he's jumping, and this is still a 4 pass. Like, there's still 4 options, but he's just moved forward a little bit and just, nuances a little bit there. Let's see, Stephen Boyer going for the hands, just blasting away. Blast off. Let's see, going outside. Oh, yeah, Stephen Boyer playing some defense, too. Gets to the line, shuffles, gets balanced, digs it, puts it right in the middle of the court there. Yeah, and look at where these guys are sitting here. High and inside there. It's beautiful. High, tight, and inside. I kind of want to see one thing. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video or not, but one thing I've been thinking about is like the difference between setting a righty outside and a righty right side. Like, if the righty is on the outside, it's very easy for him to, like this, something like this right here, out of system. When this guy's a righty on the right side, you want to miss to his right shoulder more, so that ball, that perfect ball, is, less inside. Like, if this ball was 5 feet inside, it'd be a lot harder for him to hit with range. But because it's right in front of his right shoulder, it's actually a lot easier. Bang. So yeah, because I think I mentioned that that I need to talk to someone about that. But yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's kind of a very picky thing to be worried about. But if you're a coach of a college team, or if you are a coach in any sense, or if you truly want to be great, you got to be picky with a lot of systematic stuff and where you put the ball. Like, because every single inch matters in games like this, where the margin of error is very slim. The margin for error is very slim. I don't know how I've worded that, but like, what's okay to mess up at gets very slim. Gets very dangerous, off the hands there. Ooh, good cover. Good cover. Just locked in. And I feel like covering is more so a mindset than anything, because he's at least, like, he might not be in a perfect position. He might not be, where is perfect, whatever, in a perfect posture. But at least he's locked in, he's watching and ready to go. It's more of a mindset of like, okay, I'm ready to cover. Not so much like, okay, I need to be in this spot, I need to be in this posture, I need to be this, whatever. It's more of like, am I ready or not? Ooh, wow. Because covering is just such an unpredictable and unrewarding skill, but it's so important too. Like, championships can be won with 1 point at the end, or like, if you are a team that swings off the block and gets recycles a good amount, then you need to be covering, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. If you're an undersized team, let's say, then you need to be covering as much as possible. For example, the Japanese national team does this. They recycle a good amount, and they also cover really well, because they know that that's their strategy. They know that that's what they do. And you see Lucarelli's back in here now. I'm not sure why they had him out, but I don't know, maybe it's a rest thing, maybe it's this, that, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Lucarelli's a fun player. He's a beast. He's very good. Bang. And now we got Defalco out. He gets subbed out for some reason there. Yeah, good block. Just pressing really well there. Barely gets it in. Yeah. Wow. Nice. And you see Taylor Averill, he kind of dove cross a little bit there. But again, I mean, you see this now. Same deal. Yeah, like, dude, it was, let me just check. It was 22-20. It was 23-21. They've had the 2-point lead the entire time. It was 24-21 at some point. At one point, it was 24-21, okay? And now it is 24-24 because they've had some scrappy rallies where they can just scrap and find points, or like these guys are making late game errors and they're capitalizing on it. And they're not crumbling under the pressure. They're not missing serves, doing whatever. They're clutch and they're doing it. And now it's no longer a side-out game. It's a break-point game of who's going to blink first. Because now it's 25-24, but they get the overpass. Oh, my goodness. And again, like, capitalizing on something like this where your server gets a big overpass. I mean, it's not like a super far overpass, but, like, it's an important overpass, a clutch overpass. You don't have your setter in there, so you have your outside running the offense. Maybe a slight misconnection. Taylor Averill puts up a really clean block, gets a nice one there. Lucarelli swings right into Taylor Averill, which is probably not the smartest thing to be doing there. And now it's 25-25 again. Stephen Boyer with a nice side out. Falling down, side out. Floater. Okay pass. Kirill tips it, gets the point. So it's 26-26 now, man. And again, it's a break point game now. It's a who can earn a real point right now off their serve. Yeah, because now it's side out, side out, side out. Who's gonna get a break point? Who's gonna earn one? Who's gonna earn a real one? And it looks like Toray might do it. They're out of system. Oh, they're going. They're balling. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a swing. What a swing. I don't know if this is in or out, but what a swing, man. OT deep to that corner. That looks in to me. If not, it's missing by an inch. Good for him. 28-27. You're okay with that miss. And he gets an ace. Yeah. That was Lucarelli, right? Yeah, Lucarelli with a huge ace. Coming off the bench with a huge ace there. 20-something. Good run. Good run. Good run. Of course, it's nice to know that Taylor Averill's putting a ton of pressure on that block. And so you can set that. You can set Taylor Averill most of the time with a perfect pass. Good grab. Really nice grab. Nice. Oh, but he went into the net. So that is illegal. That is not okay. And you shouldn't have done that, Taylor Averill, you silly goose. Off the hands. Just keeping himself high. So if you're a tall guy, if you're a real tall guy, you're watching film, you know what? I don't think that tall guys really watch that much film. I think they're so arrogant and think that they don't need to watch film, that they don't watch film. I actually don't know if I've met a super tall or freak athlete who is a film nerd. No, I don't think I have. I don't know. All the film nerds that I've talked about high level stuff of the game, they're not like huge dudes who are very naturally gifted. I'm trying to think if I do know any of them. Not saying that they're not athletic people. It's just I'm talking about Kirills who are 7 feet or Stephen Boyers who have a 50-inch vertical, something like that, where it's just like you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it because you got some a super super high ceiling. Bang, bang, yeah. Making Taylor Averill have some happy feet and jumping for joy over there. Some jumping bean action. Ooh, gets popped in the face. Oof, poor guy. Poor guy. Yeah, and same thing with Lucarelli taking a swing up here on the right side. is just leaving that ball in front of him enough to where he can jump into the ball. Very important. Makes it a lot easier, makes things more available. It doesn't get that one. All right. We got Taylor Averill putting a little float serve up there. Middle being able to chop it over there. And these middles are going to be one-on-one very consistently, because I think their focus is on Lucarelli, Defalco, and Stephen Boyer, So I think these middles are going to they should be performing really well. Like, they should have above average attacking efficiencies, because they are expected. They are, how would I word this? They're not the guys, Stephen Boyer's the guy who's going to get the most sets. These middles are not going to, and so their pressure, the amount of pressure that's on them is a lot lower, so they should be able to perform more. Really nice serve there. Really nice serve, man. Just keeps it in front of him, rips it, pops it to the hands there. Interesting. Wow, what a chase down. What a chase down by Lucarelli, dude. Again, same thing where it's a mindset. And this combines the turn and run with the cover mindset where he's at least locked in, ready to go. And once he sees that ball's there, he's turning and running and just keep that ball alive somehow. Bang. Stephen Boyer, man. Yeah, really nice. Really, really nice there. Yeah. Let's see. Oof. Good recycle, though. Going out of system with Kirill. Now we're back in. Back in system. Off the hands. Yeah. Oh, he started pulling his hands. What was that for? That was a weird one. Sheesh, dude. Like, something like this, like, not many people can jump that far and still be high enough to go hands there. Like, that's very impressive. He's so athletic, dude. It's ridiculous. I don't know what his actual, like, stats are on his vert, like, what his vert really is, but, man, is he a freak athlete. It's so impressive. Ball is still in play. We're balling over the top for the outside. He gets the kill. All right, we got a float serve here. It's going to Lucarelli. And I'm not sure why Defalco's not playing here, but hey, whatever. Nice. And that is... Actually, I don't know. Whatever. That is a really good block move, though. It goes very vertical, presses really well. And again, I think I've said this before, but if you're going against a guy that's just really, really athletic, he's good, he's got range, and he could possibly OT you on any point, just make sure you're disciplined so that when it hits you, it goes down. Because you can't get caught chasing that dude. Because if you get caught chasing him with some crazy willy-nilly block moves, he's going to get you most of the time. He's going to beat you on it. Yeah, and Stephen Boyer is just finding Taylor Averill on the block a lot right now. But, like, if you get caught, oh, beautiful. Really nice. But, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an analogy for that, or just a better way to explain that. But I'll just say this. If you get caught trying to beat someone at their own game, you're probably going to lose. Like, you're not going to be able to beat Stephen Boyer on his athleticism. So just be disciplined. And I think Stephen Boyer's weakness is when he swings low too consistently. So his lack of discipline in his swings sometimes, he's a great player. I'm not trying to trash the dude. I'm just talking volleyball. I'm just talking ball, okay? But I think his lack of discipline in his swings is his biggest weakness. So how can you win off of that? You can win off of that by making super disciplined block moves so that when he becomes undisciplined, you can capitalize on that. That's all it is. And so let me think, and then you can even reverse that. You can even reverse that and say, okay, there's a kid that just a boring guy who just swings to the same spot or the same two spots every time or whatever. Bang, you know to take that away and or maybe bait him into it and then throw your hands into it, maybe get a little willy-nilly and confuse him and make him overthink it, whatever. But there's just different things. Yeah, I don't know. Just play against the person that you're playing against. Don't be an idiot. Be smart. Volleyball IQ. Understand the game. Understand the tactics. Understand what are the adjustments you can make off of someone or not. I don't know. Just keep watching my videos. Share these videos if you guys can. Try and make this big so I can get Micah Christensen on here and he can break down film with me and explain some stuff to me, and blow me out of the water with the volleyball IQ. Because if we got him on here, he'd be miles ahead of what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's go. Out of system. We got Kirill. It's a good touch. Look at how deep this guy's getting here. He's right on the end. And you see this little hop step here where he just hops and only puts his feet back. It's a great way to keep him on his toes. I really like that. I think that's something that the Japanese league does really well, is consistently people are making good defensive hop steps or prep steps or whatever you want to call that. Is that who I think it is? Yeah, it's Fujinaka. Nice. Fujinaka serving a Fujinaka. That's fun. Bang. Really nice swing. I want to see that one more time. Yeah, just having range there as that middle. That's a really nice swing there. Yeah, we got 24-19 about to go into the fifth set here. JTEKT puts it up. Wow, we're way out of system here. Seems like these guys are struggling to close out some of these games, man. JTEKT is up 2-1, and Toray sneaks it through there with that interesting swing. Look at how calm Taylor Avrill's here. Look at how calm he is here, because he knows he's done that before. He doesn't have to freak out. It's not a middle freak out. He's a volleyball player. He's a middle that can jump set or do whatever. He's willing to get freaky with it sometimes, You can't be boring in this game anymore. You can't be a specific position anymore. You have to be a volleyball player. And for the most part, you can be a specific position and do very specific skills, but there's going to be times where you have to do some different things. That's a weird one. What y'all think? You think this is a carry? I think this might be a carry. But hey, we ball. Out of system to Kirill. Off the hands, we're playing. And we got, let's see, again, that's a really nice swing though. Attacking that third blocker, because he's not going to be able to press as much. Because he's the smaller blocker, he's also not going to be able to press as well as Kirill and Taylor Averill, because, he's not getting up as high. Really nice there, though. Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like TJ Defalco could have made a swing block move there, gave himself a fighting chance, but with a standing block there, he's getting OT'd every single time. I don't know who wins this. I think JTEKT wins this. Nice. And this is what I'm talking about. If a guy is very, very conventional, where it's either sharp here, sharp there, which I think this guy is, get a little unconventional and hit him with a nice wide block, okay? Like, that's nice. All right, we got a spin to float real deep on the setter. TJ Defalco taking a real nice rip there. Wow, that's a really nice one. Let me analyze this real quick because I need to do that better. Holy crap. That's nice. His arm swings are so nice, dude. His hand contact and his arm swing are just so clean, so quick, so accurate with it. Very nice. Oof, wow. Really nice run. Yeah, I mean, good on this setter to throw it over the top there because he looks like he's pinned and can only set the middle there, and being able to just flick that to the outside just a little bit is really, really nice. Bang. Wow, he really hit that dude hard. You see his whole body shake off of TJ Defalco's hit there. Boyer getting a nice kill. Let's see, TJ Defalco. TJ Defalco is doing a lot of spin to float hybrids here, which I'm surprised by. You know, like, I think last year he had a lot of aces. Maybe there's something. Maybe he's trying to save his shoulder. Maybe this, that, whatever. Don't care. I'm just interested. That's all. Really nice. Again, same thing. Look at how he shuffles over, gets himself to the correct lane, and then approaches on that lane and takes a nice swing. Yeah, spin to float. Real out of system. We got 5-4. Kirill just OT. Good defensive read here. Yeah, just get himself to the corner, stay deep. Allow for the bounce, allow for the chance for a bounce, and take a deep swing. Same thing here. You see the same thing here where they're going real far over. He's getting straight to that corner. Interesting defensive setup there. That was very interesting. Now we got Stephen Boyer out of system again. And good for him. Good for him to see this. You know, maybe the libero said line, whatever. But that's a really nice shot. 5-4, 5-5. TJ Falco with a nice spin to float again. Short spin to float. Good move. It's a good move. Ooh, okay. All right, let's see here. Out of system. Wow, look at how wide he was on his block there. He was a little bit wide here with his hands, but it also just kind of chipped through, hit the wrist. Not the worst thing in the world, though, if it's still staying high and going deep. Really nice. Nice, dude. Again, like, he's going after the small blocker. He's going after the seam there, attacking their weak link, attacking their weakness, you know, and that right now is that blocker. They must not be able to have Lucarelli and Defalco out there at the same time. Like, they must only be able to have two pros or something like that. I don't know. Oof. Yeah, it's rough. That's rough, man. Eesh, swinging to the pin there. But that's why you leave a little sliver line sometimes. You know, you just want to bait him into trying to hit it into a really small area and then possibly make an error on it, you know. Good touch, keeping the ball alive here. Stephen Boyer, big old block. Big old block there. Wow, that's a really nice block. Oof, out of bounds. We got 9-8. This is pretty much a side-out battle for this point. But then I think, again, on the topic of strategy against certain players, with Defalco, he's a very crafty, very unpredictable hitter, very physical. So Taylor Averill kind of doing this wide block and then sneaking his arms in isn't going to work because TJ Defalco might just swing right at your hands sometimes. You know, that's just, I don't know, I think that's just how he is, you know, maybe not trying to show it early, but still, you just can't be late on it because he just has such a fast whippy arm swing. Whoa, what just happened here? Such a good dunk by TJ Defalco there. Yeah, that's just a good dunk. I mean, I don't know if he wants a carry there or what, but he didn't even touch it for that long. No, come on, grow up, Kirill. That's a good choice by Defalco there. I really like that. Good swing. Bang. Look at how much space he keeps, and then that setter just puts it in front of him so that he has options. Bang. 11-10, late game in the fifth. 12-10, floater. Hands, good pass. Going back to Kirill, OT. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. And yeah, with a team like this, you just want to, like, these guys are putting their defense deep because they know that Kirill's favorite thing to do is probably OT. Good approach. Good. Gosh, what a swing. What a swing, man. Like, I would rather, like, I don't know, I talk about this a lot, where when that ball's inside like this, players kind of like sidestep it, but this is so much better right here, where he just approaches directly from here to here, and then he's able to just open up and then swing through as he's going through. You know, like that's, I'm going to have to try that out sometime. Bang, nice swing. Nice swing down the line there. I don't think it'll be enough to win them this game, but still nice swing. TJ becoming the man late in this game here. It's 13-12. Perfect. Back to TJ again. He's the man right now. He got hot, but now they are tied at 13s because of a great swing and great transition, great scrappiness. And this has happened in just about every single set. You know, Toray has just been more clutch almost. Yeah, just off the hands there. Wow. And they remain with giving the ball to TJ and figuring it out. Short spin to float. Back to Kirill. Ooh, ball's out of bounds. Wow, what a swing. Just going real hard cross there. And that's a really nice swing. I enjoy the fact that he didn't get scared about how late in the game it was, like how important that kill, getting that kill was. Like he still went hard at that ball, still took a genuine swing, you know. Off the hands, we got 15-15. I'm not sure what this game finished out as. I feel like JTEKT won, but I'm not sure. It's the fifth set, so who knows? Wow, is this over? No, it looks like it's kind of on the net there. It's fine. This coach over here looks young. It's interesting. He looks very young. All right, about 16-15, Toray up. It's in. Or, I mean, it's touched. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. This is a game. This is a battle. This is what we're here for. Steve Warrior getting a nice trickle. Did he really do that? Oh my gosh. And so something like this from Kirill is just magnificent. You know, like being able to cut it that sharp from the back row is very, very impressive, man. Perfect pass, back to Defalco. And Defalco's getting every single ball right now. Ooh, wow. 17s, 18-17, wow. And I assume Defalco's getting another ball here. Yup, thought so, off the hands. He's the man right now. They're just feeding him late in this game. And I bet Toray's kind of like, all right, when are they not going to feed him? But, you know. Yeah, and TJ goes for the wide block, but with Kirill, it's almost like just giving him room to do exactly what he wants to do, which is go OT. Wow, Defalco being clutch as heck right now, getting kill after kill for his team. Oof, wow, what a good block. Wow, that's a really good move. Late in the game, too. Look at the split step. He's kind of narrow with his feet here. Goes slightly wider while he hits the split step, makes a good move, presses early, presses that right hand extra. Textbook block move there. Beautiful. And that's for a huge break point. Now it's 20-19. And they can get another one here if it's a good touch. Wow. Good touch. Yeah, just reaching towards that ball, making an unconventional block move, but hey, it works out. Wow. I'm surprised that they're not setting Stephen Boyer at all right now, dude. I don't get that. Set Stephen Boyer at least once out here. Okay, we got 2020 still. Wow, this game is crazy. Going into deep extra points here. And TJ Defalco, even when he is in a very uncomfortable position, just taking a swing, still getting a kill for his team right now. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Very cool. Very cool to see. You know, I think he thrives. He thrives when he's the man, but in like any sort of support role, I don't think he's great. He needs to be the man. You know, I think that's his thing. He's an offensive guy. He needs to have that pressure on him, which is understandable. We got JTEKT up 21-20, and we got them in transition now. Let's see what happens. Stephen Boyer, nope. Going back to Kirill, of course. Tight block. Oh my gosh, what's happening? What's going on? What a dig! What the heck? Wow, just a reaction. Just a reactionary dig. Wow, what a huge block. Oh my gosh. Again, I mean, I think this is somewhat of an undisciplined swing there by Steve Boyer, but he's going for the sharp cross. It doesn't work out. Whatever. I don't know, man. Yeah. Ooh, wow. 22s, man. 22s in the fifth set. This is insane. Deep out of system. We got what's his face taking one. Taking a rip. Leaving it inside out of system. Letting the man go take a rip. Taking a cross. Gets dug. And we're deep out of system again. Okay. Steve Boyer with a huge serve that's out of bounds. Wow. He did rip that puppy, though. Good lift by TJ Defalco. Stephen Boyer. And this is just like whoever's going to blink first, man. Wow. And nobody's blinking. Everyone's playing their absolute A game. Going hard. Solving the problems quickly. Like a Stephen Boyer lumberjack bump set is insane. And then a really nice angle there by that outside. Okay, we got a perfect pass going back to Kirill. And that might be out of bounds. That is out of bounds. Wow. And it's kind of ironic that they finished this set 25-23. Wow, man. Wow. What a fifth set. All right. Get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys.